What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the wonderful, the Arsenio's High Performance Podcast. I'm your host, as always, early in the morning, just after 6. It is a Monday. And I have a nice little show here for you today because you know what? You're not alone in the fight. You need to rise anyway. And my biggest question is, do you ever get tired? I mean, if you look at the last 3 weeks, of course, stemming back to the situation before and 4 consecutive days, and now seeing the ramifications of that is in terms of it being so awkward around that specific guy and him changing his language and going through conversations. I'm like, you know what? Now that the dust has settled mentally, I got really tired, but now that the dust has settled, I'm able to see the true colors of this place. There's no way that you could ride that positivity wave so long at a specific workplace without it just going back to factory settings. Not that it's bad. It's the fact that, hey, okay, well, uh, grateful that I have a job, grateful that I'm performing, grateful that I'm doing so many things and my observations are absolutely fantastic and doing so many other things. Hey, there's only one jackass that ended up being the way he was. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just toggle this and let me just not give a flying fuck because all my other classes are absolutely just exponentially amazing. So, do you ever get tired mentally, emotionally, physically? That deep kind of tired, that's where it feels like you're carrying everything on your own. And I'm grateful enough that I had, and especially, the Wheel of Life this upcoming month. I'm going to say that, like, in my friendship circle, it's probably going to be a zero because they are nowhere ever to be found. So that's why it's very important to always commit to the personal development because even when you don't have those people there for you and you're just messaging them and they never respond to your messages, it's kind of like, you know what? It's all good. This is your reminder that you're not alone. See, because every week, especially at the start of it, we have a chance to mobilize. You see what I mean? This week is absolutely important for me. Grabbing that work permit, seeing the baby at 17 weeks and 2 days, and then my birthday Friday. It is the chance for me to mobilize and to protect my peace in any way, shape, or form, to pause, reflect, and ask, you know what? Who do I need to become? Not only this week, but who am I becoming? I'm talking about the future self. Am I stepping into my best self this week? Am I bringing the energy with me? I'm not talking about bringing the energy to inspire everyone in that place. No, no, no. I know who these folks are. I got a couple of teachers I speak to. I do not fuck with the front office staff like that. I do not speak to them. Probably only speak to one of them. I know that one is one that likes to just look around and gossip about a lot of things. And unfortunately, the guy who I thought was, and again, this is me always giving the benefit of the doubt. Oh, I thought he was so, this and that. And then next thing you know, boom. He's like, no, 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 that's your boss. That is your boss. And after the energy and the weird stuff that happened yesterday, I'm like, bingo. All right. It's not so much no more Mr. Nice Guy. It's, you know what? I'm going to bring that leadership to my classes. I'm going to bring that growth to my life and to my in the relationships that I have around me. That courage to rise above the stupidity. But often it's easy to forget about that. We get myopic, especially over the last between Monday and Thursday. Get real myopic, get real narrow. We get caught up in our own situations, such as mine. We lose sight of the bigger truth. But see, you are building something within yourself, and that matters just beyond that matters beyond you. Self-improvement isn't just personal, it's social with the people who are in your life. So when you grow and you show up better for your family, for your students like me, for your community, humanity itself, okay, depending on what type of humanity you're inspiring at that specific moment, that's the bigger truth, and that's what we have a tendency of forgetting. We all share something deeper, like that thread of consciousness, that shared human experience. And you could call it like a universal mind, a common heart, collective energy, you name it. And within that, there is suffering. Everyone has gone through the same thing I've gone through. There is struggle. Everyone has struggled just like the way I'm struggling. There are no, I want to say there are dark nights, but for a lot of people, there are dark nights or there could be dark days, right? It was at 2 p.m. that it was a dark day. It was that Monday, as a matter of fact, having an amazing class, doing the observation. And then I just realized the more I spoke and stuff like that, it just seemed like everything was just so simple. And the next thing you know, oh, the student said this. And that's when the world could just flip right upside down. And then that's when I emailed and said, hey, I'm going to be honest with you. That's a little bit of bullshit. That is some bullshit. So I had to, step on it. And then next thing you know, got on another call and he's like, hey, just to let you know. Oh, it was like a meeting that was supposed to be had on a Wednesday. And I'm like, motherfucker, I did not have that. And then Thursday came around and, he's like, okay, well, because it's in writing, we kind of need the photo. I'm like, okay, now I see what these folks are like. And that was kind of like, not like anger. It was more like disappointing, like not so much like, okay, it could be business and operationally speaking, but it was like, okay, I see what you're about. I'm going to bring it from this 9. I'm going to bring it back down to a 3, and I'm going to keep it at a 3. I'm going to do my thing, and I'm going to go home. If people are gossipy or they're looking at my pockets and stuff like that, I will ignore them for a week. I ain't got time for this shit. I'm here for the bigger future me, the future self. I'm not going to stew in the stupidity of ignorance. Now, remember, that's where we get stuck sometimes. We start to believe no one understands me, or he doesn't believe me, or my journey is different. Although, yes, of course, my journey absolutely different from a lot of people. I'm alone in this. I would never say I'm alone in this, but I'm just like, you know what? Let me get some perspective. That belief, those beliefs, if we hold them, it ultimately just weakens us. And this is the hard truth that's going to set you free. You are not that unique in your struggle. That might sound harsh, and I'm not saying, Arsenio, my story is all this. No, there are lots of African Americans across the entire continent of Asia who have suffered, who have gone through the same vitriol bullshit that I've been through in 13 years. Not saying that this has happened over the last 3 weeks. No. It's kind of like, okay, this person, do they pay my bills? No. Do they pay my bills? No. Does he know how great I am? No. I mean, yes. So then I'm just like, okay, well, that's the end of it. That's all that matters. Am I performing? I'm not here to be your friend. Not anymore. We brought it down from a 9 to a 3. I'm there to do a job, and I'm there to get the fuck out exactly when I finish. I'm not there to talk about this or do that now, because I've realized over the last 3 weeks, I know who y'all about. So then it's kind of like, okay, how can this be more empowering? So if we look at this and look at all the African Americans who have been through things, or the people who have been through things just like you've been through things, someone has been where you are. Someone has survived it. Someone has figured a way through. There is no challenge you're facing right now that has been faced before. If you're listening to this right now, you have freedom because you're listening to this podcast and you have the ability to make a choice to listen to podcasts. Someone does not have a gun to your head. You are not locked in a cage. You're not the bottom unfortunate 100,000 people that live on this continent who are living in cages and shit like that. So I'm not the stress, not the heartbreak, not the uncertainty, not the pressure of juggling life and family and work and health and money. People have lost loved ones. All of us have faced illness, gone through betrayal or what it seemed to be, built from nothing, failed and rebuilt again. And yes, your experience matters. It's real, it's valid, but it's not isolated. And this is the shift that's going to change everything. Stop asking, why is this happening to me? Start realizing this is happening to many and people have overcome it. Because that shifts you from isolation to connection, from helplessness to possibility, from stuck to solution focus. Because if others have solved it, you can too. Now, being stuck, you could be stuck. You could be stewing, just as I was. Stew in the melancholy and the bullshit that I had to overcome. That Thursday having that meeting and saying, oh, because it's this, it needs to be in writing. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I'm not the police. I have no authority. You guys could take it up with them, and that's the end. And that's when everything shifted. And it had to. Because I'm like, you know what? No, I'm a teacher. I'm not here for bullshit. I am not an investigator. I'm not a private investigator. I'm not Interpol. I'm not FBI. I cannot ask somebody to show me something or to give me their phone. So that right there showed me exactly, I'm not going to say that you guys are not on my side, but you guys are pressuring me to do something that is absolutely illegal in this country. Good, hell to the motherfucking now. I know who y'all about now. I'm bringing it from 9 to 3. We're keeping it cordial and straightforward. I'm going to look at my messages at 9, 1, and 5 p.m. If there's nothing there, then there's nothing there. There's no more this. There's no more that. Okay, there's no more me sharing my personal life. There's no more work permit, all that shit, because that's going to be easy. There's no, at a 5, what is it? At a, oh my God. Yeah. There's no, oh yeah, everything's, it's going right with the baby. There's no, hey, it was my birthday this past, no, I'm good. I'm keeping it distant. That's all I'm doing. That I'm keeping it. I mean, and listen, I'm going from A to B, because after that, I know what folks are about now. I'm bringing it from 9 to 3. Now it sounds like, hey, Arsenio, you're kind of isolating yourself. No, no, no. I'm keeping it professional. I hate that fucking word. There's no such thing as professional. But I'm saying, okay, just like yesterday, kept it professional, spoke to my students, didn't look at anyone. At exactly 4:30, my 8 amazing students walked out of class. I walked out of class, and guess what? The maid who's been acting very, very shady, she was looking at me. I looked at the wall. I ain't saying shit to you. My students were standing in the front. They were like, "Oh, you're off work." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm off work." I walked outside, didn't say a goddamn thing to anyone. All the other parents who were there with their, their children that were, learning and stuff. I ain't looking at y'all. I'm not there to be nice. No, 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 no. You are not taking away. I'm not giving away my beautiful energy. Now, if you want to come to me and talk to me, we could do that. That's not isolation. That's me being selective with the communication that I have with individuals. So if we look at the well illusion, when you're struggling, it feels like you're at the bottom of a deep well sometimes, huh? You look around, there's no one there. It's pitch black. No support, no help, no nothing. So you stay quiet. And what you don't see is at the top of the well, there are people, the people who can actually guide you through these different, trials and tribulations that we experience in terms of the human consciousness. It could be a lot of people who care, people who have been there, people who are willing to help, people who are walking a similar path right now. It's kind of like how I was helping the teacher who I brought over for the hosting party. But unfortunately, you just don't call out. You don't raise your hand. You don't reach. And that silence right there keeps you stuck. And so your new perspective for this week, right now, there are millions of people trying to get better. Someone is journaling about the same thing right now, about struggle. Building a business through the same fears. Learning and growing and fighting internally, just like you. And you're part of that global movement of people striving to become more conscious and loving and disciplined and alive. So what you have to do is break the I'm alone story. No one understands me. You need to say someone has faced this and I can learn from them. Find one example, whatever you're struggling with right now. Search it, read about it, watch about it, or watch people who have overcome it. Because proof kills that doubt. And shorten that suffering window. Shorten that suffering window. You're allowed to feel the pain, but don't live there. You need to ask yourself that question. How long am I going to sit in this before I move? That's the biggest one right there. I feel like a lot of people, like if you want 1 day or 2 days, okay. 5 days, okay, a little excessive, but that's kind of like me. I'm right around that 5-day area. But then I'm like, you know what? That's enough. I'm not giving my personal power away to people who I'm probably just creating assumptions and stories in my head. This is what I'm going to do now. No more bringing this energy. I'm going to be more stern and just professionally and just everything focused. Like, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, a lot of people would say, oh, you were this way, but now you're acting this way. Yeah, well, after the circumstances and things that have happened over the last 3 weeks, this is what you get now. Maybe I was giving you guys too much of my beautiful personality. I'm going to keep it at where it is right now. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye. So, again, that's why I'm like, you know what? I'm going into a fucking incredible week. The work permit is like the number 3. I could care less. But if we look at, but very grateful, okay, considering that, the money is absolutely incredible because TOEFL's finished. But looking at that Saturday, looking at what's going to happen Wednesday evening and Friday, I don't know what's going to happen on my birthday. Let's see what happens. Let's see where the world takes me. But me, I'm just like, you know what? Okay, I'm very, very grateful. I'm grateful that I have this opportunity to work at a place like this. And sometimes, yes, I could stew in that. And sometimes, yes, you are at the bottom of that well, but you need to call out. You need to message someone. Ask somebody for advice. Share what you're going through. Join a community, but don't join like a depressive community. Oh, we're all depressed. No. You need to join a community where people overcame depression, overcame the workplace stress, overcame the bullshit and the marginalization that you're potentially going through in whatever shape or form. That's what you have to do. And you have to recommit every Monday like today. Make Monday your activation point. Who do you need to be this week? I need to be absolutely level, centered, and also distant in a way to protect my peace. Amazing doctor this morning. Absolutely grateful. Come around 2 p.m. I'm going to go into that class exactly at 2 p.m. Hey, what's going on? Okay, we got a project today. Let's do it. Put your phones away. All your fucking phones, put them away. 4:30. Okay, see you guys tomorrow. Grab my shit. I go home. That's me being assertive. That's me being collective. That's me being strong and knowing and disciplined in what I'm doing. So who do you need to become this week? Especially on Wednesday. Wednesday, that's easy. Wake up in the morning, gotta be tidy, gotta be punctual. In the evening, gotta be very empathetic and sympathetic and just grateful. Friday, that's me staying away from my phone and just being an absolutely loving individual. And now that I don't have those evening classes again on on Saturday and Sunday, I finish at 2:30 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday now. So when I come home, I keep my phone away. And when I don't answer messages, I'm like, hey, man, fuck that. It's Saturday, Sunday, bro. You had everything. You should have talked to me during the working hours. Okay, I'm responding back at about 8 p.m. That's your own goddamn fault. Okay. Yes, okay, everything's cool. It is what it is. Now, does that make things more of this? It does not matter. From a professional perspective, this is how I have to work now. These are my working hours: 9, 1, and 5. Anything after 5, anything before 9 the next day, absolutely not. That is time for my wife, and that is time for me to meditate and to get my head back on track for the next day. This is it. I need to be at my best for my child. And this is what it is so important for all of you out there. You need to be able to zoom out daily. When life feels overwhelming, you just have to remind yourself, this has been faced before. This is solvable. I'm not alone in this experience. And that right there creates strength. So with that being said, people, I'll see you guys in the next podcast. Over and out.